importance of starting with the heart, and that's actually the title of the book I've been working on these last 9 years. And this quote, I think, captures for me why I believe in the power of education. My grandmother fled persecution in the Ukraine, anti-Semitism, and wasn't able to finish her schooling, but valued education so much that she made sure it was a top value for my mom and my uncles. And my mom went on to become a real leader in education. The emphasis on education is obviously not unique to my family. It's one of our greatest traditions in Jewish culture. And I always remember the story of Jews putting honey on letters and remembering that as kids trace the letters, it reminds them of the sweetness of learning. Now, I think one of the challenges in education right now is this idea of downloading learning to students, and that there are these emotionless hard drives. So there's really this challenge of, do we focus on the head or the heart? What matters more for learning and in our lives? I really believe the heart wins, and here's why I think the heart's more important than the head. A learner really needs to feel safe and valued and seen in order to truly be able to take risks so they can grow. When we start with developing their social and emotional intelligence, student academic outcomes improve, and we as learners really get to thrive feeling connected. And I think an open heart and open mind reminds me of the importance of really connecting, whether it's a child or another adult. I met with a student this morning. He'd had 3 fights in 4 days, and going into what was the reason behind it really got him to open up and really make a difference. This speaks to, we are becoming a culture, we drink more than others, we have more accidents, we eat more, there's more shootings, and I think it really comes down to this cost of ignoring the inner lives of students and not manifesting their social and emotional intelligence. Comes in these extreme forms that we feel, I think, every day in terms of disconnection from others. So I think there's really 4 keys, whether it's in learning or in our lives, to starting with the heart. Starting with relationships, really making sure the learning we do as adults or we do with kids is meaningful, and really cultivating our social and emotional intelligence. I think it really comes down to the importance of relationship building. If we don't have that space to connect, we can't thrive. And I think when we feel really seen and connected, whether it's a teacher or a mentor, we become more creative and take risks. So I encourage you to take a moment, remember a teacher or a mentor that really allowed you to feel really seen and known. And notice how that feels when you remember that person who really made you feel safe. This image really speaks to me of the importance that, whether it's a child, an adult, or an elder in our community, the importance of being heard. Imagine if the children at Columbine or Sandy Hook had felt connected and really seen and known. And I think ensuring that time we have beyond Facebook for human connection is so critical. The next piece in terms of making learning meaningful, I think, is really having the time to practice. We don't always have in our busy lives the 10,000 hours. So it's practice, but it's also about space for silence and mindfulness. I think with my students we did a golden minute always after lunch, and it allowed them to be more present, more focused, and I know for a lot of us as adults in this busy world that space is so critical. Emotion, this is one of my favorite pieces of research on emotional intelligence, because to learn anything we have to have our emotions activated to care, to give attention to it. And of course when we give attention, there's more memory and learning. And I think the other critical piece is that if we don't recognize and give space to our inner lives, then we risk really stunting, especially for children, their opportunities to have their inner life be valued. And this boy reminds me of the ways we create more joy for learning in our lives, whether we're an adult or a child, is embracing opportunities for humor, embodying a spirit of play, and really trying to make every minute special. And this quote from Mandela, obviously we know about how he positively impacted the challenges around him. And so I ask you tonight, in what ways can you draw on your learning, your heart, and your strengths to really change the world close to you? So I think cultivating strong relationships, seeking out meaningful learning opportunities, opening our hearts to experiences that strengthen our social and emotional intelligence, and most importantly, finding joy for our learning and everything we're doing. I think if we, with an open heart, weave these 4 into the fabric of our daily lives, and honor the rich Jewish tradition around learning, it'll leave an indelible mark on those that we care for and also on the next generation. Thank you.